Roger is facing
Yeah, so
109 years. The Department of Justice is coming after him for alleged tax evasion from 2014. And
yeah, the whole case is really quite sus. I think there's a lot of other builders that are going through some similar issues as Roger, where they're just going through the list, and it's kind of in my personal opinion, it's the Operation Choke Point. You know, it's Elizabeth Warren and her anti-crypto goons that are just hunting down anything they can to make a bad example out of crypto, to make a bad example out of builders in the space, and really just try to scare it offshore. But it seems like now we've got an administration in the U.S. that's saying, no, we want American Bitcoin, we want American Bitcoin builders, we want American crypto innovators, and it's no secret that Roger has been involved in Bitcoin since the early days, and Bitcoin wouldn't be what it is today without him. He was the original Michael Saylor. He was the bull poster of 2012, 2011, 2013, all the way up. And whether or not you like the guy or hate the guy because of his choices in altcoins, it doesn't take away from the fact that everyone's Bitcoin bags are bigger and better because of Roger Ver.
Welcome back to Bitcoin.com's Token Narratives, where we discuss the biggest stories shaping the Bitcoin and cryptoverse. I'm Graham, repping the hype function at Bitcoin.com, and I'm here to tell you that it's time to get hyped because Bitcoin is about to smash through 100,000 United States dollars, and that milestone marks the official start of this bull cycle. With us today is Bitcoin.com CEO Corbin Fraser, who is, of course, all in on Bitcoin and crypto. How do you feel, sir?
I feel validated for the months of feeling like a moron when I was still accumulating. You have to fight through the battle of, I'm an idiot for doing this. Why am I buying more of this garbage? This is the dumbest thing I could be doing. And then suddenly you're like, I am a genius. I'm the smartest man in the room. Na boo boo. 100K. Woo woo woo. That kind of thing. So it's good. It's good vibes. I mean, we're almost there. I feel like there's a lot of people kind of pre-calling the 100K though, which I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I need to see those zeros or it's not real. Right now we're in like Wayne Gretzky zone. 90, like in the 99. It's good. It's cool. It's no 100.
We're also joined today by Andrei Terentiev, the Chief Technology Officer of Bitcoin.com. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Also enjoying the nice action. I feel like this is my third cycle, right? And the first cycle you just enjoyed a little bit because it's a nice pump. But after 8 years, you're like, okay, now I can feel comfortable that I was right. I was right. Now I can really think it. The first one might have been a fluke. The next one, it's like, okay, we're there. So feels good. Good vibes. Good vibes only.
Nice.
Well, maybe a question for you guys. Do you find that you guys were doubting yourselves ever, or doubting the idea of cycles? Like, I always found myself correcting myself, being like, well, if you follow the idea of cycles, But it seems like at some point you have enough cycles that you're like, cycles are a thing. Of course they're a thing.
Yeah, I definitely doubted it. A year and a half ago, I thought, okay, we might not come back this time. Definitely woke up every day thinking, what am I doing? But
I've always...
Yeah.
Cycles are there, right? I think I've made this joke before that Bitcoin has the ultimate Ponzi-nomics, right? The 4-year halving cycle, the supply goes down, and it just all of the fiat currencies or inflation. It's like this is inevitable. It's gonna happen. Just keep gathering up bunkers, Bitcoin, whatever. It'll happen eventually. I don't know, but it is very depressing in those lows. Very, very depressing. Your bunker becomes a lot less sexy when the price is down. Man, maybe I shouldn't have bought the bunker after all.
Yeah, I believe the price of Bitcoin did actually just hit 99K last night, a little over 99K. But we're not quite there yet on the 100. I found this meme to be quite a nice one. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's talk about the ETFs, because this is the Bitcoin ETF year one, off the charts compared to the gold ETF. So the first year of the gold ETF did about 1 billion in inflows, and the Bitcoin ETF, what is it, 40, 50? So breaking all the records.
It really makes you just think like, okay, how much did this SEC hold back this wave, right? Where it's like basically delaying all these ETFs and like whatever for I don't know how many years, 6 years. It's like, would we have already been at this point 5 years ago? I don't know, but it's like I feel like there's just been this drastic shift now. It's like, okay, SEC is giving the green light. Time to rock and roll.
Yes, and also this week we had the start of the ETF options trading, which seems to also have been a smashing success. Something like $1.5 billion changing hands in the options market on the first day. Do either of you know what that actually means, though? The addition of the Bitcoin options market to the ETFs.
You mean like what does it mean for the market? Or
Yeah.
just to clarify.
Yeah. What does it mean for the market? And I mean, what I'm told is that it will dampen the volatility of Bitcoin, both on the upside and the downside. So we're going to see a less hyperbolic cycle thanks to this options trading. That's what I've been told.
Well, I mean, you could take short positions, right? I mean, that's probably like if you put options or whatever. So if you're bearish Bitcoin, there's now a vehicle to do that in a regulated market, which I guess could have like dampened volatility, but like on the flip side of that, maybe it's just like people unwind their positions and it rips up if people start doing that.
Yeah.
I think it just lets those more like complex instruments give people more options in how they're trading things.
Yeah. At the institutional level, especially because options trading has been on the table for quite some time for retail. So I guess we'll
yeah,
see.
It does make me think that like the whole like there was a wall of bureaucracy and compliance, and we're here to protect you all. Everything's safe, guys, because SEC's here to protect you. Meanwhile, yeah, they've clearly been like hindering the growth of this entire sector, which does make me more bullish on Bitcoin and other crypto in general, just by knowing that the SEC's current, top dog is on his way out. It seems like he's posting that he's intending to be gone by January, and then it becomes kind of, well, is the replacement going to be a little bit more of a bull poster? Are they going to be talking about how they can find that balance of regulating and reducing actual scams instead of just hindering the growth of this entire sector, which is it seems like has been the modus operandi of that entire department. So yeah, I mean, like I think then you look at the ability for these options to unlock. Yeah, you get max degeneracy from institutional investors that weren't able to, short or maybe even like access, say, more degeneracy and more fun bets. And yeah, in theory, it could balance out where you've got some institutional investors that are kind of trying to find that gamma play, being able to kind of like capitalize on the I'd say, like, when you look at some of the options markets on the DeFi space, and then you've got like things like GMX, and you've got these DeFi things. You've got perps and options all over the space. It's either with Bitcoin or it's like with Bitcoin, like derivatives like WBTC or TBTC or DLC BTC or whatever other flavor of Bitcoin kind of tokens there are on these kind of like smart contract layers that offer this type of service. You could then perhaps access that and play with the institutional version of that as well to capitalize on some inefficiencies there, which might unlock maybe more stability, but it could also perhaps unlock more cascading failures, which we've seen in previous bull markets where everyone's long and then all of a sudden all it takes is one giga whale to just be like, I think we're going to close our position. And then maybe those cascaded failures kind of could occur across more than just the on-chain market. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm too small of a giga brain to understand I guess what this unlocks in terms of opportunities. You need some degenerate quant traders to kind of say what this can do for
you mentioned
for us in the price.
New SEC bull poster, Michael Saylor for head of the SEC.
Yeah, why not? Put him in.
Put me in, coach. I got some thoughts.
All right. Well, actually, let's talk about some of the appointments that have been made or attempting to be made here. First of all, we have rumblings of a crypto czar. The Trump administration is reportedly considering a crypto czar to oversee crypto policy, signaling sweeping changes in the U.S. cryptocurrency regulation and innovation strategy. There's also
maybe just to interrupt there. Who do they? Is there any rumors that who that position might be filled by? Like, because I've been seeing some news about bald guy Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. He's been meeting with Trump. I think Brad Garlinghouse from XRP or Ripple has been meeting with Trump. Charles Hoskinson from Cardano has been meeting supposedly with Trump. Do you see it coming from within the industry, or do you see it coming from like outside the industry to fill that gap?
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be someone from inside the industry is the rumors that are circulating. Who that is exactly?
What's best for Bitcoin and crypto in general? Like, who is it? Ripple guy? Is it Coinbase guy? Or is it Uncle Charles?
Armstrong was like makes reason. A lot of people are supporting him because he's seen as like the most neutral, I guess, compared to like Hoskinson obviously has his own coin and Garlinghouse has his coin or whatever. So there's like more conflict of interest, whereas Armstrong is a little bit more considered neutral here. So I don't know. It makes sense, right? Like I don't disagree with that, and it is like the most successful crypto company in the U.S. by a pretty wide margin. So seems like a pretty logical fit. I don't know. There's like dangers there too, right? Because then it becomes this like whole potential regulatory capture issue where it's like, okay, so the head of the biggest exchange is going to make all of the policies to obviously support his business. Which,
That's a deep moat. That's a deep moat.
That is a moat that you cannot get out of, really. So I don't know. It's my 2 cents.
I mean, I would say in Brian Armstrong's defense, Coinbase has made some exceptionally great investments into the self-custody space. So, with their smart wallet tech, their, the self-custody Coinbase wallet, base chain, I think he's like a mature enough figurehead in the crypto space, and he's been around long enough, and he's got like the ideals of OG Bitcoiners that I don't see him putting his own bag ahead of what's right, if that makes sense.
I also like he's a billionaire, right? I like how do you say it? I like it when a billionaire has so many billions that it like making money doesn't matter. So there's
Yeah. You can go back to your ideals at some point, right?
Yeah, like if you have like $100 million, you're like, what do I got to do to make that billion? I'm okay crossing the line. Once you're like, okay, I've got like $200 billion, like, well, there's really no point in getting 300, so I can just focus on whatever I want.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like having I think there's like there's like honor amongst billionaires in some way, right? Like at some point you're sort of like, all right, you're worth this on paper, I'm worth that on paper, who gives a shit? But like, what can we do to make the world a better place? And I think you're seeing that in some ways with like this new Trump administration, where it's sort of like the Avengers team of like well-off rich dudes that are just trying to make the world not suck. And could Brian be a supporting Avenger in that team? Yeah, why not? I think so. He's been a staunch proponent of keeping crypto in the U.S. and fighting this Operation Choke Point, the crypto goons of Elizabeth Warren and her ilk. So I think if there's anyone who can do that, I think it could be him. There might be other candidates that they're also shopping that we're just not aware of or that haven't leaked yet. But it'd be interesting to see.
The thing I'm excited is like if there's going to be some resurgence or any interest in the ICO market again. I feel like that's like one market that really just got absolutely killed by regulation, where it kind of became illegal to launch an ICO. So I'm really curious if whoever is this crypto czar is going to somehow pave a way for like new ICOs, and we'll see a new boom, I guess, in that space. Because nobody wants to do it, right? It's like, why would you take all this risk for, if you're successful, you're going to get like run down by the SEC or whoever. If you like do an airdrop, they're coming after you. So if you're like, that'll be interesting.
I always felt like that ICO market was, when you explain the concept of ICOs to people in crypto or people not in crypto, then it becomes this like use case for crypto that does sort of support, hey, anyone can get in. This is the any man sale. Like it's the Kickstarter of new crypto projects. And it doesn't even have to be crypto projects, but it might use some crypto rails. And being able to access, Kickstarter was an inefficient model for raising funds because you would often get, you're holding a bag of nothing. You don't really have any equity. You don't even have a product. You might have a promissory note that you get the new fan blade or the new toy that you bought or something like that. But it sucked. And I think it sucked to a point where that's why it's not really as popular as it used to be, right? It had like its few years in the sun of, people kickstarting random tchotchkes and doodads. But now it's sort of like people moved on. And I think that ICO area, it unfortunately had some really scammy stuff in 2017. But then, amongst the scams, there was some good stuff that came out of it as well. And I think with the right regulatory clarity and, the right team just kind of making sure that things are being done above board with the right tech. Yeah, it would be cool to see an ICO resurgence, kind of like a little bit of a return.
For sure. And like some of like the biggest companies in the space were basically like born out of ICO, right? It's like Ripple, Ethereum,
Binance.
I don't know if Stellar, BNB, but yeah, BNB.
Yeah.
So like all the big dogs actually got really came from like the ICO space. So to see that like kind of choked off and completely die, I think they're scams, right? But like if there's just some way to say, okay, I acknowledge this is a very highly risky investment and like, whatever, like let me in. I want to buy some coins of like the shady thing or like thing that might pump, right?
Yeah. Like, is it any worse than buying a meme coin? It's like most meme coins are going to zero, the large majority, but people are still aping in. The potential for upside.
My whole theory is that meme coins exist because ICOs became illegal, right? Whereas like, okay, if you're just not allowed to launch ICOs, it's like, okay, we'll still do the exact same thing, but we'll just tell everybody there is no utility. Okay? You should expect to not lose your money. And that's like a shame because then it means like real projects like can't really launch, but you can launch. I mean, they're not scams, but like, you can launch memes. But it makes it impossible to launch projects with like utility.
I'd push back a bit on the meme coins aren't scams. So I'd like to share this. You guys heard about this story? The kid who made the meme coin called what's it called?
Quant Kid, Zoomer Quant Kid.
Quant, yeah, exactly. This is a great one. I got to play the video. It's really good.
I've seen those two middle fingers before on a webcam. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There was a little bit of like oh yeah, this is familiar.
I got that joke.
Yeah.
It's I can't compete with these traders anymore. These 13-year-old kids are out trading and rugging. Back in my day, you had to write a white paper before you rugged anybody. Nowadays, you just hop on, create the token, and just rug right away. Come on.
You gotta wonder how
got it.
This kid must have walked into his school because he's what, like 12, 13 years old. Walked into his school just feeling like the king. Hey, it's just, guys, you'll never believe my weekend.
All right, I finally got it up. Here we go.
Wait, what?
He said, wait, what?
I'm so confused.
What? Oh, it was nuked. Why is it nuked?
No way.
Oh.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
You full clip.
Holy fuck! Thanks for the 20 bandos.
Yeah, he did.
Yo! What the fuck? What the fuck? Nah, bro.
Okay,
there's a strange atmosphere.
The rest of the story.
I love it. You know what? Hats off to the kid. I love it.
Yeah. So he walked away with $30,000 apparently from that one, and then basically he then did it again with another coin that he named Sorry.
Wait, like on stream again? Like he did another one and then just kept doing it?
Yeah, and this one rugged for 20K. And so then the community went back and actually pumped the first coin, Quant, to a 70 million market cap. So the coins that he had rugged for 30K would have been worth 2 million if he hadn't rugged. But I mean, that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Nobody's going to buy the coin unless it had like a funny story. So like, he still won.
The rug is what created the value. He's a value creator.
Yeah, he was a value add to the project, if we're going to be honest.
Okay, so then
he made everyone else rich. By drugging.
Yeah. So then the community then basically doxed him and his entire family and turned each of them into its own pump.fun meme coin. And the mom's Instagram and X account are now inundated with people basically trolling and pissed off at the son.
Now I read a tweet this morning that someone kidnapped his dog. I don't know if you've heard this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's I think that and this is pure conjecture. I just saw some tweet, but supposedly someone kidnapped his dog and they're holding the dog ransom for $5,000 to say you owe me money, because I think they got rugged on this guy and then they probably sold it at a loss and now they're all salty. And because he was doxxed, they were like, well, we know where he lives, and oh, there's this dog. Give me that dog. So I don't know if this is all true, but I've seen, it's Twitter, so I'm taking it with a grain of salt. But there might be a hostage situation going on right now tied to this whole event as well, and so that's kind of sad.
Yeah, that is sad. Here's the
Quants.
How are those coins doing? Did they hold up, or is this like?
Yeah, not sure.
Are we sure it's not just him running these? Like, what if this kid is like he's running the playbook? These are all his coins. He's quant maxing.
He bought back in on quants afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, are we going to see more of this?
For sure.
What do you even do as a regulator in this situation? You're like, this is security.
Well, okay. Here's a question: did the kid break any laws?
I don't think so.
He just
Are there
kind of
any
was a
laws
dick.
broken in pump.fun?
Yeah. Would the coin pass the Howey test? Was there was there like an enterprise where people expected that he would do work to increase the value of the equity? Yeah, right. I don't think so. So.
Yeah, so it might be a dick move. I don't know if the guy broke any laws, because everyone buying in is stupid. I mean, truthfully, I would have bought in as well. It's a great name, Quant. It's got a Q, feels
I think
fast.
The question becomes: is there any? Not if it's a security. Is there any fraudulent activity? Because that's the real, like. I guess you can not be a security and still commit fraud, but like, if you just buy something, put it on a live stream, and just sell it, is that fraud? Did you ever say you were not going to sell it, or like what?
Well, it's a bit like it's a bit like a tech founder who just they sold some of their stock during the A round or something like that, right? Like, I don't know. It's nobody broke any laws. It's maybe they dumped a little bit on other people, but like it's the free market, man.
It's a dick move. There's no law against being a dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to another topic in the meme realm, which is from 2 or 3 metas ago already. The AI agent meme coin meta. And yeah, Andre, you were on the show last week telling us about Woki. Could you give us the update? How's Woki doing? Has she been red-pilled?
Woki has been. Oh, she wasn't red-pilled when we last talked? Oh, man. Feels like it's already been an eternity. Yeah, Woki is good. She bonded, I think, a couple of days or something, maybe after our podcast, sitting at 700K market cap. Briefly tapped 1 million. Long way to go. But yeah, the thing I've been focusing on a lot is trying to figure out how to get the content creation going. So yeah, you have this meme, and we were talking about this a little bit about the show, where there were a lot of AI agent, I don't know if they're memes, bots, AI agents,
influencers
coins on Twitter, influencers,
with associated tokens.
With associated tokens, and the content was just terrible. Like the first time you saw it, you're like, oh, this is crazy. It's an AI that's talking to me. And then you like look at it for a while. You're like, wait a second, this is just garbage.
Yeah.
So I think like people were hyping this up a lot. But the content it's not very good. So I think there is still like a lot of human uh, editing capability needed before this starts working out. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been seeing and what I've been working on.
And with Woki, she is now posting on X. And is that autonomously? Is she doing that autonomously?
No, so I'm still right now, and this is why I don't want to do autonomously, because I think it's like over optimizing. Because if you do full autonomous right away, you're playing like a volume game where it's like, okay, just keep churning out as much volume as I can, but people are just going to get sick of that, right? So right now I've got it set up where it creates all of the initial posts, but it goes through my like editing pipeline where, I see it and I'm like, okay, I like this, I don't like this. Maybe it needs to like remove one word here or a couple words here, remove a sentence, and then that can go live. Now, obviously, you want to get it more and more autonomous over time, but I think that that's probably a way to actually control the quality of the AI's content without just creating massive spam. And there were two posts that did really well that actually got out of like the regular crypto sphere and into like general politics. I think one was some Trump post, and one was shitting on the British Prime Minister. So I think if you scroll down, there'll be one about the British Prime Minister. Yeah, this one did really well. There's just some random people just commenting.
That guy looks really British.
Yeah, 2,600.
That guy.
Interesting.
Small fish for like a big media like Bitcoin.com, but it's big, right? It's only got 200 followers, and you've created AI content that can break out of crypto Twitter, and people don't view it as AI content. So I think that's like the number one thing to keep evolving and figuring it out. And this is kind of like if you watch any of these content creators like Mr. Beast or something, he's always like, okay, people always ask me why my content isn't doing well. And it's like, well, your content sucks. So like you got to figure out how to make good content before you can like scale it or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of some early positive results. And then it's just a matter of continuing to build that out, I would say.
Interesting. And what's the future?
Where do you think the AI agent...
Go ahead, Corbin.
Yeah, I was just going to ask the exact same thing. Where's the AI agent Memecoin world going?
I mean, I think they're going to run into this problem like sooner rather than later. And I think some of them have probably realized it already. Like we can't just spam content or whatever. So I think they're going to have to go back and build these like flows that are injecting humans in portions of the process. Whether it's like trading or content creation or whatever, it's a cool idea to say, yeah, this AI is going to just manage $100 million autonomously. But then it's like, okay, then and then the AI like just buys some shitcoin and loses all the money. Are you going to be like, oh, yeah, the AI did it? Like,
so actually, last week you told us about the AI 16Z thing, where basically what's happening there is you're giving some money to an AI agent that's investing in the crypto markets. Is that what's happening there?
Yeah, I think they're running. There are a couple that are trying to run a fund strategy where they'll buy tokens and hold them, and you'll like own a portion of it. So I haven't been keeping up too much with like that side of the space because it's just not as interesting to me. Like, frankly, like bots trading. There's tons of bots trading.
Yeah.
So I think there's like value to it, and it's going to continue to grow, but it's just not like that sector, I guess, of the AI agent space isn't as interesting to me as like the content or like human personality side of things, which is where I'm focusing on.
Okay. And there was another meta which came up recently. I think Corbin, you posted about it somewhere. The DeSci meta, where how's this work? You've got AI. You've got experiments running in the somehow connected to crypto.
It seems kind of like a stretch to me, to be honest. I saw CZ was posting about it. I've seen, I don't know. I think it's a bit like the nootropics kind of vibes, you know, of people just being like, yeah, but they've just like relabeled nootropics as DeSci now, or like they're just like, yeah, we're just like modifying stuff, but we're just, you know, using prescriptions off label and like, I guess trying to measure things and calling it DeSci. That's my very rudimentary understanding of it. Yeah, I mean, my take is that if DeSci becomes a thing, maybe we finally get like the steroid Olympics, you know, or like the freak show Olympics, where people are inject everything, whatever you got to make yourself a high performance human being and go for gold. Like, I don't watch the Olympics. It's extremely lame to me. I think sports in general, not really my thing. Like I like playing them, but like watching people play sports isn't really my jam. It kind of kills me inside. And then, you know, you add in all the like woke politics of like the Olympics committee and like, you know, trashing my Jesus Christ. What are you guys doing with that? That's a little kind of a dick move, but okay. I'd rather see a competitor come out. I want to see an ICO for DeSci, for Giga Chad steroid transhuman Olympics, and just get weird, and they can do a token and they can get weird. And I want to see people that are like, there's already bodybuilders injecting all sorts of garbage into them to see what they can do. Let's make it into a competition. I want to see some I want to see gold medal freak shows, you know?
All right.
Bring it back. How does this connect to the blockchain?
It's a token.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a token.
We're gonna do an ICO for this, guys.
And there's gladiators. Hear me out.
This is where Bitcoin.com's heading.
All right, let's change gears for a second, because David, who's normally on the pod, was unable to join today, and he shared a video with us, which I'm just bringing up right now. Okay, let's see what David has to say.
Hey, Corbin and Graham. Hope the podcast is going well. I'm sure it is. I wish I was there, especially because of what I'm about to say. I'd like to be there to defend myself. So yeah, I have capitulated. I sold about 25% of my ETH bag. I moved it over to Solana, mostly in Sol, but also in some meme coins. Yeah, being at DevCon week and then seeing how people reacted to it, talking to some people there as well. You know, it was mixed. The developers were all happy, but kind of a lot of people around the devs were not. And so I think that, to me, this solidifies that Solana has the better narrative for this cycle. And I think I've said this before. I think it can run a lot more multiples than ETH. I still think ETH will pump, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And I'm not going to wait for it. So I have started to move my bags over. How much of it? Probably not much more than 25%, I don't think. Yeah, never know. So yeah, that's it. It's my news, my shame. I have joined Graham over on the dark side.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I thought it was.
You were the one. You were the chosen one. You were my brother, Ethereum. I loved you. But Solana has the higher ground. All right, guys. Chew on that. Talk to you later.
Well, there you have it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought he was first going to say I sold my Bitcoin. I was like, no. And when he started Solana, I was like, oh, okay, that kind of
makes sense. Yeah. I think he's not the only person I heard come back from DevCon being like, I think I'm out. So I think the vibes there are strange in the sense that I think there's not a lot of bull posting in ETH because everyone's approaching it from like this I don't know, bit of a loser vibe, you know? And it's been a loser for this cycle. And I think there was a brief rumor going around of like, oh, they're going to announce ETH 3.0. That's going to save the narrative. And then they're just like, no, we're going to launch this new, I don't even know what it's called, something chain.
Beam.
Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah.
Beam chain.
Yeah.
Who cares about that? They could have called it E3 and everyone would be like, yeah, but they're like, let's call it Beam. You morons. You idiots. You know? So yeah, I don't even blame them. 25% seems like a logical amount. I was talking about doing a similar trade, have yet to do it. And then like was it like 12 hours ago, ETH decided to have a little bit of a little baby bump. It's like 7% up. Has it held? Has that held at all, or did it correct down?
I think it held, but then like Solana went up 11%. So they couldn't even give him that.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
So I think this is the lesson of never underestimate the power of bull posting. Because I think what the Bitcoiners got right is they just bull posted every competitor coin into the ground. Like, I mean, we kind of look back at it now and be like, oh, Bitcoin is like the only like big, I don't know, money coin, but like so many coins try to take the crown or whatever. And those guys were ruthless bull posters.
You guys ever? Do you remember when Oasis was like a big band, and they were like, you know, they were the thing. They were the rock and roll superstars. And I remember there was like some interview on like Much Music or something like that, and they were talking about how like, yeah, we became the biggest band by just always telling people we're the biggest rock band in the world, and they just kept saying that to everyone they met. And eventually the media started calling them that, and they were like, cool, I guess we're that now. So I think there is something to be said about just leaning into the bull posting. And Andre, I think it was you and I that were talking about this. It was sort of like there's been this like it's like a sad progression of like, okay, crypto went from like we're gonna change the world to like we're gonna build more utility and revolutionize finance to what was the latest one? You don't want utility; it's pre-utility. You want memes. And then it's like, no, you don't even want memes. You just want bull posting. It's like this is the decline of crypto in action, but it seems to still be working for some reason.
As long as enough people bull post, your coin still alive.
Gotta say, I'm a bit surprised that David only sold 25% of his ETH. That's it. That to me is bullish ETH. Because David's a smart guy.
I didn't even sell any of my ETH. I just started buying Solana, and then Solana just kept outperforming to the point where I was like, oh wow, this is like almost as much as my ETH. Like, it's just like that's like been my progression. Whereas, and then you like kind of see the numbers and like, man, this is kind of sad.
Yeah, it's interesting because most people who have been in crypto, like who were in crypto last cycle or have been in for several cycles. Last cycle, I think they ETH was the chosen one, right? And so like I for one sold quite a bit of my Bitcoin to acquire ETH, which I now regret. And I think a lot of people did a similar thing, and now, yeah, one by one, they are capitulating.
The interesting thing, I've never actually used Solana. I hold Solana. I've never used it. I use ETH all the time.
Interesting.
Well, or, Ether and L2, like, yeah, I mean, it works fine. I use it all the time. It's a good experience. I have no real, like, I don't know, reason or desire to go to Solana because it's a superior product. Whereas this works just fine for me. I use it, but Solana's just outperforming. And, you know,
Yeah.
what can you do about it?
I use both. Just trading, right? And no doubt about it that Solana is faster and easier. No doubt about that. It's all on one chain.
Even faster than easier than that.
Yeah.
In the L2s, or just like
faster than Arbitrum, Optimism, Base, and cheaper.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It feels snappier. It doesn't have that EVM kind of queue and chugging along and RPC request response lag. It just kind of feels a little more bubble poppy.
Token approve, don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, no token approve. Their token implementation is like the most basic bitch kind of like token implementation where like, they didn't. What I like about Solana is that they didn't let the nerds run the tokens. Like with Ethereum, there's like ERC 721, and then there's ERC 721A, and then there's ERC 20, and then you've got like these ERC 4, I think they're 420s now, and then you've got these like new ERC 1155s, and there's all these like nerds just coming in being like, maybe we need a new token protocol that does this. And the Solana guys are just like, nah, we just got this really basic SPL or whatever, and it's the most basic, no need for approve. It just goes. It doesn't mean you can I think it means you can do less with it, and it's a pain to build with. But from a meme coin perspective and just like a degenerate trading thing, it does the job.
Let's move back to Bitcoin for a minute, because there's been some interesting developments in the Zano sphere relating to Bitcoin. Corbin, could you explain this?
Okay, so I've been hearing rumors in some chats that so Zano has this thing called confidential assets. We talked to the Zano guys on this podcast a while back. So they've got their own tokens on Zano, but they inherit the privacy functionality of the base layer. So it's not like Zano's on top of, it's not like tokens on top of Zano. It's more like tokens inside of Zano, and they're private tokens. So you could launch a meme coin on Zano, and it has all of the privacy capabilities of Zano. However, right now there's just been mediocre tokens for the most part on their confidential assets layer on Zano. So like most crypto projects have this problem, right? You build the token thing, and then it's like, well, what tokens are on it? Mostly just meme coins and like nonsense, like we'll eventually get something cool. I think there's been some rumors of stable coins coming there, but the rumor that was going around was that confidential layer, which is a protocol that lets you bridge assets from public blockchains to private blockchains. So they're trying to provide this like non-custodial bridge between, say, Ethereum tokens and privacy chains. So this means that you could not just like Ethereum tokens, but we're talking like Bitcoin. We're talking like, you could take USDT, you could take Ethereum, you could take Bitcoin Cash, you could take Polygon, you could take maybe even Solana, and then move that into Zano, where you get the wrapped version of it on Zano, which has the privacy capabilities. So all of these people that are like trying to, like Bitcoin's not private. Like it's pseudonymous. That's a hard word to say. But it's not. It's like with the right tools and the right feds and the right glowies, you could find out who owns what Bitcoin. But you move some Bitcoin into a privacy layer, you get that capability. So it's kind of an interesting opportunity, I think, for seeing how the privacy space might solve some of the pain points of OGs that people want, right? Like maybe you don't need to be a Zano bag holder to be like into Zano, because you're just like, I got my Bitcoin. I just want to break the chain of public. I don't want people to know how much Bitcoins I've been collecting over the years. And in theory, yeah, you could move that onto Zano. You get your privacy capabilities. You hold it either on Zano, or you could even just keep it in there just like a little while, and then eventually move back into some new UTXOs. You've kind of broken the chain of public traceability, which I think when it comes back to like this idea of data ownership and this idea of like some people want privacy, and there is some security flaws in, you know, having a, I mean, think of how many articles have you guys read in the last 6 months of like crypto people being kidnapped, tortured, you know, the $5 wrench attack. It's real. So if you're in this space and you're holding a lot of crypto and you're like kind of worrying for yourself, having the ability to break that chain is for your own personal protection. How else you use it, you know, of course, there's always like the nefarious parts of things. But I mean, for me, it's like anyone deserves the right to privacy in the same way that you know, a lot of people want VPNs. This is the VPN of Bitcoin, right? I think it's a cool opportunity for Zano to kind of fill a gap, but also this confidential layer. I think you can read some more stuff about it at confidentiallayer.com, but I've been digging into them a little bit. Seems like they're looking at like Monero, they're looking at Zano, they're looking at getting Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and ERC20 tokens bridged over, and then it'll be interesting to see what this does to the whole ecosystem if you do get this privacy public bridge going in a truly self-custodial way.
I wonder if there's some room also with the more room for privacy in the regulation side of things now too. Like, I feel like that was a big demonization from the past SEC administration and things like that. So maybe there'll be a little bit more room for exchanges and other like centralized actors to start, you know, accepting deposits and things like that again, as this place evolves.
Yeah. That's going to be a hard one, I think. But if it's self-custodial, maybe that's a different story. All right, guys. One last topic here for today, which is the Free Roger story, which seems to be trending now. The movement, I've had quite a few people, influencers around the world, noting the hashtag, pushing people to sign the petition. What's the story here?
What are the how many signatures are they at right now? I think I saw it break over 3,000 recently.
Yeah, almost 4,000.
Almost 4,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
Roger is facing 109 years. The Department of Justice is coming after him for alleged tax evasion from 2014. And
the whole case is really quite sus. There's a video that's on that freerogernow.org that explains the whole case. It's sus. Brett Weinstein did a tweet recently that I saw had like over 1 million impressions, and I think it included either this video or maybe a different one. But it was it's a great summary of like how messed up that past administration has been treating crypto and OGs in the space. And yeah, I mean, like, it does make you really question whether this type of case will stand in a new presidential administration. My hope is that, given Trump is clearly the Bitcoin president, he's the crypto president that we've all been waiting for. that maybe this is an opportunity for him to kind of right some wrongs from the past and, help free Roger. I think there's a lot of other builders that are going through some similar issues as Roger, where they're just going through the list, and it's kind of in my personal opinion, it's the Operation Choke Point. It's Elizabeth Warren and her anti-crypto goons that are just hunting down anything they can to make a bad example out of crypto, to make a bad example out of builders in the space, and really just try to scare it offshore. But it seems like now we've got an administration in the U.S. that's saying, no, we want American Bitcoin, we want American Bitcoin builders, we want American crypto innovators, and it's no secret that Roger has been involved in Bitcoin since the early days, and Bitcoin wouldn't be what it is today without him. He was the original Michael Saylor. He was the bull poster of 2012, 2011, 2013, all the way up. And whether or not you like the guy or hate the guy because of his choices in altcoins, it doesn't take away from the fact that everyone's Bitcoin bags are bigger and better because of Roger Ver. So yeah, I encourage everyone to go visit that freerogernow.org, sign the open letter. We're going to be giving away some t-shirts as well, across a few places. So, keep an eye on our socials, and we'll have a few more updates on this stuff as it continues to roll out. I'm hoping we can maybe at some point get maybe even like his lawyer or someone like to come talk on X Spaces or something like that. There might be some opportunities for us to kind of jam a little bit more and learn more about the case. So,
what I found to be pretty sad about this whole thing, I mean, there's a lot of sad things about it, but when the case has been, when the Free Roger petition has been circulated online, the comments, sometimes people are like, no, he deserves it. You're just like, really?
Yeah. I think the standout one, the absolute human garbage, is Max Kaiser. Like total dick. I mean, he's always been a dick, but his tweet recently, which was like, yeah, hang him out to dry, basically, was like how I'd summarize his tweet. In his opinion, because Roger was part of the scaling wars and rightfully said the blocks should just increase in size. That's unfortunately seen as propaganda and anti-Bitcoin, and by some of these like ultra Bitcoin maxis, they'll they don't let sleeping dogs lie. And I think fortunately it seems like that's the rarity. You had sane people in the Bitcoin space, Tone Vase and countless others coming out to put their name and say like, hey, what they're doing to Roger's messed up, and it's clearly an attack on not just Roger but also Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. So it's a warning and a kind of shot across the bow to anyone exploring crypto.
Well said. All right, gentlemen, I think on that note, let's wrap it up this week. So thank you for joining again, and thanks for everyone who listened. See you next week on Token Narratives.
Thanks, Graham.
Yo.
Thanks, man.